Every great adventure begins with a single moment, one that changes everything. For us, that moment was saying "I do" in front of the people we love most.
We are gathered here today in the presence of God to witness and bless this lovely union as Victoria and Andrew join together in holy matrimony.
Come and stay a while in the four-way space.
Andrew and Victoria, having witnessed your marriage vows in the eyes of God, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Andrew, you may kiss his wife.
And the next chapter of our lives would begin with a week full of adventures to foreshadow the journey of our lives to come. As we headed west from Lubbock to Colorado, we not only traveled across two state lines, but also traveled about 200 years into the past. As we arrived in Creede, Colorado, it was pitch black outside and we had no idea of the beauty that was all around us. It was so dark outside, it took us about half an hour to find our cabin. We were considering just sleeping in the car that night when I finally stumbled upon our Old West-style dwelling at Freeman's Ranch. Nestled in the mountains, Freeman's Ranch dates back to the late 1800s. During the Colorado silver boom of the 19th century, it served as a stopover for miners, hunters, and travelers drawn to the bustling mining town of Creede. We had originally planned to ride horses at Freeman's Ranch, but our would-be guides for the horseback ride that day had shot an elk while hunting the day before, so it was all hands and hooves on deck to get all the meat packed out. Luckily, the owners had recommended a place down the highway that had one more horseback tour opening for the season, Cottonwood Cove. Our guides were super friendly and it was a perfect honeymoon experience as we were the only two riders that day. As we ascended the San Juan Mountains, we were treated to sweeping views of the Rio Grande, carving its way through the valley, and the brilliant golds and oranges of autumn leaves painting the mountainside. Riding these same trails gave us a glimpse of the rugged beauty the early settlers must have encountered. Since Victoria grew up riding horses, it was going to be hard to top our experience from that first morning, but I had a surprise up my sleeve. As much as she loved horses, she really enjoyed collecting cool rocks and gemstones she would find in the pasture growing up.
I'm not retarded, but I like rocks.
So our next destination was sure to be a good time.
And this would be the tunnels at about their largest. Majority of them, they were a lot smaller than that. Mostly just about 4 to 6 inches past the width of the tracks. They just wanted to be large enough to get the men back through there. So we got a nice amethyst vein back over here as well. And if you want, you can peek around the corner, but we can't go back in there because you just don't want to ruin a tour if y'all come back here.
Cool.
Are you sure you made a good choice bringing me here? You know how much I like rocks, right?
I know. The original miners didn't want to waste their time on anything that wasn't silver. Luckily for us, because the real adventure was rock hounding in the scrap pile, where we dug through their so-called trash rock. After collecting several pounds of gemstones, we took them over to a staff member to see what we had. Turns out we dug up some pretty awesome gems, including amethyst, turquoise, cell-belly agate, a rare and valuable gemstone not found anywhere else in the world, and even a little nugget of silver. On our third day, we ventured to Durango to experience the Durango to Silverton narrow gauge railroad.
That went into this highway. Just look at the amount of rock and earth that they had to move just for that one curve. And I would stop for about 15 minutes and you can stretch your legs and take photographs.
We began our adventure with a charter bus ride along the $1 Million Highway, earning its name not for the precious ore extracted nearby, nor the priceless views, but actually for its high construction cost. Supposedly, each mile of the highway cost $1 million to build.
What a wonderful world.
Once we arrived in the charming little mining town of Silverton, we meandered the Old West-style streets, first stopping at the Lazy Rose Saloon, where we enjoyed some lunch and the best old-fashioned either one of us have ever had. Housed in the Grand Imperial Hotel, the Lazy Rose has welcomed guests since 1882, steeped in Victorian elegance and frontier tales. After shopping for a couple hours, it was time to head to the train. There was actually no train station in Silverton, but the train just so happened to be right outside the last store we stopped at. After boarding, we rode through the downtown area along the Animas River into the valley of the San Juan Mountains. And at one point during the trip, I guess you could say we were running a little low on steam because we had to make a trip at the water station. The 3-hour train ride was exhilarating, yet tranquil. The breathtaking views off the cliffside were tempered by the long stretches of hypnotic rumbling, which actually put me to sleep at one point. It probably didn't help that the train had a car with a fully stocked bar, where we may have enjoyed a beer and another old-fashioned.
For the money, two for the show. You get ready now, go, cat, go, but don't
After a long and rather rough train ride, we capped off the day with a relaxing soak at Durango Hot Springs Resort and Spa, a tranquil retreat built on the site of natural geothermal springs. Originally revered by the Ute tribe for its healing properties, the springs later became a favored stop for miners and settlers seeking relaxation. Today, the resort blends history and modern luxury, offering visitors a serene escape. The next morning, we returned to Durango to check out some of the things we didn't have time to do the day before. After wandering through a few eclectic shops, we stumbled upon the Durango Mine Rough, an indoor rock hounding activity designed for kids, but no less thrilling for Victoria. Ecstatic about the experience, she loved sifting through the collections of minerals and gemstones.
There's a shark tooth. Baby shark. And then I have baby shark song in my head.
Our next stop was the historic Diamond Bell Saloon inside the Stratter Hotel, a building that has stood since 1887. Known for its Victorian architecture and lively atmosphere, the saloon transported us to Durango's wilder days as we sipped on, you guessed it, another old-fashioned. Later, we made our way to a family-owned business just outside Durango, famous for its honey-based products. Victoria had been telling me about this place since we first met. What better place to go on the honeymoon than Honeyville?
This feeling
From meads to honey-infused jams, Honeyville has been a staple of the area for decades. They even make most of their honey products at their in-store factory and distillery. Pretty sweet if you ask me.
When I kissed you, girl, I knew how sweet a kiss could be. I know how sweet a kiss can be. Like the summer sunshine, pour your sweetness over me. Pour your sweetness over me. Oh, sugar, sugar on it, honey. Pour your sugar on it, baby.
That's so sweet.
After a long day of walking around in Durango, we couldn't resist another soak in the hot springs. Our last morning in Pagosa Springs was coincidentally timed with the final farmers market of the season. Given that we first met at the farmers market in Lubbock, this felt like a poetic conclusion to our first week of marriage. While the market was small, we enjoyed visiting the remaining vendors and picking up a couple local products.
And then I saw her face. I'm a believer, and not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried.
We spent the morning strolling through the quaint downtown shops before stopping at Mountain Pizza for lunch, known for its wall of beer. After sampling a few drinks and enjoying a gluten-free pizza, we found a local coffee shop which provided the perfect pick-me-up for a leisurely walk around the San Juan River.
When I wanted sunshine, I got rain. And then I saw her face.
Finally, we got to go to a place I'd been wanting to check out since I visited Pagosa for my first time several years ago. Overlook Spa, a hot springs retreat with rooftop pools overlooking downtown Pagosa Springs and the San Juan River. We made it there just in time to soak in the views of the last sunset of our honeymoon in nature's hot tub. From the mountains of Creed to the charming streets of Durango and the relaxing hot springs of Pagosa, every moment was unforgettable. The trip wasn't just a honeymoon, it was the beginning of a lifetime of adventures together.
We still have fun when the sun won't shine. You and me belong together all the time. And homemade drinks, we throw a cheers, the worries sink. Damn it, it's so good to be alive. We know that we don't got much, but then again, it's just enough.